Do you know which new emerging game stands the chance to become the next Axie Infinity? Well, if not, one of the best ways to learn this kind of information is through gaming guilds. And obviously right now the market is suffering. There's no question about that, but we still have to keep our eyes on the prize. And this is an opportunity that you ought to be aware of. Guilds let eager new players without the upfront money for in-game assets either rent or earn those assets through rental and scholarship programs. So don't be too shocked, guys. Take a look at Yield Guild Games here, ticker YGG. It's down 27%. Along with the rest of the market, that's just how it is right now. I'll let you decide whether or not that's a project that you want to pick up on the cheap. That decision is up to you, but here's the point that we're trying to make. Many guilds themselves present great investment opportunities. Yield Guild Games is one of our favorite. And yes, although it's down right now, there have been months where it has soared over 500%. So at least as we see it, it's quite evident that no one has a better pulse on the P2E marketplace that's play to earn than an active guild, and that makes sense, right? The real question, however, is which guild should you get into? Many of you guys loved part one, our part one video on gaming guilds. Check out the annotation here if you've not already, and believe me, we heard you guys in the comments. And so in that spirit, we are bringing you guys 4 more guilds that we think you should have your eye on. Let's get into it. Hey guys, my name is Maddie and this is Altcoin Buzz. We are a crypto investment research company. As you can tell, we're not fair weather fans. That is to say, when the market goes up, we're producing videos, we're doing research. When the market goes down and it's bleeding and it's a bloodbath, we're still doing research, producing videos, doing the usual thing. The research never stops, the enthusiasm never stops. It's because we're here for the long run. That's always been our investment thesis, right? That this is a long-term proposal. And ultimately, if you want to be rewarded for your investments one day, you've got to embody that mentality of having strong hands, right? Holding on firmly to your convictions, buying the dip, buying low, selling high. And I'll leave it up to you guys, but possibly even taking advantage of major market corrections such as this one. So we've been making millionaires since all the way back in 2017, through the highs, through the lows, and it's because we were early investors in all these projects that you see here and many other projects as well, some of which made us 100x profits or more. So guys, if you don't want to miss out on the next potential altcoin gem or crypto moonshot or information that may help you in terms of your investment pursuits, my recommendation is to like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, that is Altcoin Buzz. Also hit the bell to receive notifications, because that way you get alerted by YouTube every time we publish sometimes time-sensitive content. As a quick disclaimer, this channel only ever expresses our opinions, sometimes our enthusiasm, but it's not to be mistaken for financial or investment advice. That is not what this video is about. So in case you haven't seen our first video, we've definitely examined guilds before. That's because we believe they're a great way to get into gaming investments, even if you're not a gamer per se yourself. And in that first video, which is playing now, we go into really conceptually the idea of what is a guild. So again, check that out if you're not already. But briefly, a guild is a group of people that play a game together. And this has changed historically. They share in the profits and in-game assets these days. And those profits are the ones they earn from winning battles or completing various quests. So again, in part one, we took a look at 5 guilds with global access and that play many different games. But just like in part one, in this video, we're showing you how entire virtual economies are sprouting up around guilds. And very importantly, each guild acts like its own investment fund with assets spread out over different games, all of which are managed through a DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization. Okay, the first project we're looking at is AAG. Now, we've actually examined AAG in the past. It wasn't part of our Guilds Part 1 video. It actually got its own dedicated video because we were pretty excited about this one. Effectively, AAG stands for a chip and a chair guild. Maybe some of you have heard that expression. It means that as long as you have a seat at the table, kind of in the context of cards or poker, as long as you have that seat, you have an opportunity and thus a chance to win. And AAG is the fastest growing guild in the P2E gaming space and has the second most Axie scholars at over 2,000. These guys currently support 5 important games: Axie Infinity, Thetan Arena, Illuvium, Star Atlas, and The Sandbox. And that's more games than a typical guild would normally offer, especially for a newer guild, which AAG is, and thus we find this very impressive. AAG's business model is based on 4 pillars for success. Those are play to earn, the AAG Guild, learn to earn, and their AAG Foundation. And another interesting thing about the AAG Guild is their wallet. So they developed an integrated wallet for all things P2E, and that includes being able to swap between games on exchanges like KuCoin, or even for stablecoins and fiat, all from one wallet. Investors and partners include big backers from firms like Shima Capital, Via BTC Capital, Harmony, Gate.io Labs, Tribe Capital, and many more, as you can see. And partners include the 5 games Lossless, Rent My NFT, and Login ID, among others. Tokenomics here are definitely worth discussing. So AAG just finished their IDO token launch of 27.5 million tokens. That was on Copper launch. And between the IDO, liquidity, and ecosystem and community, about 47% of the total supply of AAG is available to the public. And the plan is to issue all 1 billion tokens of their total supply within 4 years. So this is one of the fastest emission rates we've seen, and something to take note of. If that's not exactly your jam, then it's understandable. But one good thing to note is that each group, whether team or advisors, has both lockup periods and vesting schedules. And these, of course, help protect investors like us from huge dumps of tokens into the market. So again, the total token supply is 1 billion. There's a current circulating supply, which is unknown. We're priced way down on this dip, but sitting just above 16 cents currently. The market cap is unknown at this time, but you can buy AAG on Uniswap. All right, next up, and at number 2 on our guild list, is Rainmaker Games. Rainmaker is our second guild for the day, and their goal is not just to be an ordinary guild, because they want to be a portal to the whole P2E ecosystem. They want to connect gamers, guilds, and different games really all in one place, and they have a game launch pad as well. The idea is that Rainmaker lets everyone start for free and eventually become guild verified once they advance and buy some in-game assets as NFTs, non-fungible tokens. So this guild verification works both ways, in that not only can a player make him or herself eligible to join a guild, but guilds use this feature to search for experienced players to invite them to join as well. And it's interesting to note that they started as only a guild and then evolved into this whole P2E ecosystem offering that they currently have. So players can play, they can earn, or they can hodl Rain, that's RAIN, to make money. And using their Rain tokens allows players to earn bonuses and even higher payouts. They've got some great investors and partners. So backers right now include fellow guilds like Merit Circle, Game Experts, Animoca Brands, Coin Fund, Polygon, and Warburg Ceres, among others, as you can see. They also recently raised $65 million from Alameda Research and some of the other backers on the list, and they got 4% of all tokens, which is equivalent to 40 million RAIN tokens. Again, RAIN. Let's talk tokenomics here. So on the 20th of December, Rainmaker completed a 3-day auction on Copper launch, raising over $20 million. This is one of the biggest raises on the new token launch platform that specializes in declining prices over time to price out bots and frontrunners. Check out our specialized and exclusive coverage of Copper launch in this related video. If you would like to check that out, you can do so here. But Rainmaker sold 25.6 million RAIN tokens on Copper launch. So if you're keeping track, we're now up to 65 million tokens sold between the private fundraise and the public one on Copper. The total supply is 1 billion, and between the community, the ecosystem, and incentives, you have about 60% of the tokens which are available to the public. And the insider portion has vesting and lockup schedules, which we like to see from transparent projects. This is always a good sign. All 1 billion RAIN have been minted, and its current price, as you can see, sits at about 33 cents. RAIN is available on Uniswap, Huobi, BKX, and PancakeSwap. Guild number 3 on our list is Metabrands. These guys are trying to build out a metaverse and connect metaverses as well. They are both a guild and a P2E ecosystem. Metabrands has a special type of NFT called relics, and these relics earn 80% of the monthly revenue from NFT sales that the platform generates. The 10% goes to the resource DAO, and the other 10% gets burned. And the relic NFTs allow access to different events and part of the metaverse from other players, giving them a unique and exclusive experience. And Metabrands has a unique model for their Axie scholarships too. They have two models where one pays 40% to the scholar and the other pays 50%. And of course, the DAO gets their share, but the unique feature of both models is that the remaining revenue is kept and then airdropped as their MAGE, that's M-A-G-E utility token to all other players. So this of course helps keep initial costs low for new scholars and is a good incentive for the community to support them. Another interesting difference that Metabrands brings to the table is the double-sided staking contracts, which are available on both Ethereum and Avalanche. In terms of investors and partners, Metabrands' venture arm has investments in 3 games. These are Axie Infinity, Outer Ring, and Totem. And partners include TrustPad, DuckDAO, Delta Hub Capital, and ourselves over here at Altcoin Buzz, as well as others. So the total supply of MAGE tokens is 100 million, but the maximum available supply is 97.7 million, and that's because 2 million coins have been burned already. So between community, treasury, and liquidity mining, about 57% of the total supply is available to the public. And Metabrands has detailed vesting schedules on their tokenomics page for various groups, including a 3-year lock on community rewards. And the emission schedule for the supply of the 97.7 million is over a 3-year period, so this is a fast emission rate and something that you should take note of. The circulating supply is a little over 4 million currently, with a price of, as you guys saw a moment ago, about 12.9 cents, with a total market cap here of just under $1.6 million. We're talking pretty low here in terms of market cap. Could be a great opportunity. You can buy MAGE on Uniswap. Guild number 4 and the final entry on our list today is GuildFi. And it's more than a classic guild that backs 2 games, Axie and Cyball. So GuildFi, kind of like Rainmaker and AAG, are trying to build out an ecosystem for P2E. In other words, they're not only trying to run a successful guild, they have this ecosystem, which is a major part of their ambitions. GuildFi is based in Thailand and is Thailand's largest scholarship provider, working to build the Yield Guild Games, that's YGG of Thailand, like YGG is to the Philippines. And one really interesting difference in GuildFi is that they have their own BYO, or Guild as a Service. So this means that investor groups who are interested can build their own guilds separately from GuildFi, but then connect to GuildFi's network. And then their GuildFi ID acts like a Metaverse passport of sorts that you can take and use across the GuildFi ecosystem. Let's talk about staking, because you have some great opportunities here. As you can see, you can stake on GuildFi and earn up to 400%, even over 400% APY. And currently, there's over $32 million in staked value on GuildFi. Investors and partners include Pantera Capital, Coinbase Ventures, Alameda Research, and Animoca Brands. A general who's who really of crypto investment and gaming investment, in other words, are backing this project. Let's talk about tokenomics. So GuildFi has a total supply of 1 billion tokens. The ticker is GF. Of those 1 billion, about 40% are available to the public as part of the ecosystem, and the emission schedule grows exponentially over the next 60 months until all tokens are in the market. So these guys too have vesting schedules and lockup periods. The circulating supply is 43.2 million, and the market cap is currently just over $65 million. You can buy GF on BitHub, OKX, MXC, Gate.io, and BKX. So there you have it, members of the Altcoin Buzz Army. 4 guilds that we're pretty excited about, and perhaps that ought to be on your radar if you're excited about this whole blockchain gaming and P2E and metaverse crypto space. And again, if there's a common thread in the selections that we've highlighted here in the part 2 video, it's that all of these projects are super ambitious and super adamant as far as prioritizing the construction of ecosystems in this P2E space. So we always like lofty ambitions. That's something that we respect, certainly, in the crypto space as far as projects that we support. Never financial advice, but of course, best of luck if you choose to invest. If you guys are still watching at this point, be sure to like, subscribe, share, and hit the bell to receive notifications. Check out these other couple of related videos. Check out as well part 1 of our guild's overview video if you've not already. Stay safe, members of the Altcoin Buzz Army. And as always, we do hope to see you again soon in our next video. Take care.